I like to be as transparent as possible. I feel like transparency is the key to progression, right? If one side knows what the other side is thinking, really thinking, and doing, it's better for everybody. There are no agendas, there's no muddy waters, there's no confusion. So here on the Molpractice podcast, I will try to provide a unfiltered and sometimes unsolicited opinion that will most likely be unpopular. It'll be divisive. It'll be misguided from you. It'll be absorbed in a poor fashion. And you will yell and curse at me and call me immoral and call me stupid because you simply disagree with what I'm saying, which is cool. That's the whole point of this show. So before I get started on today's topic, I will say that I welcome that. I welcome all of you people calling me a bigot or a racist or whatever other terms you want to use, Marxist, all that stuff. I'm here for it. And I want the people who disagree with me to hit me up, and I want you to join me. I challenge you because I love to challenge people, and I love to be challenged. I want people to educate me if you think I'm wrong. And there's been a lot of you. And it's been a long time coming for this type of show because a lot of people have told me that they would love to hear what I really and truly think. And I plan on losing a few friends over this show. I plan on gaining some new friends on this show. But what I really, really, really want is to give understanding, to be understood, and to get education and also give education. So thank you for joining me. I will say this will be one of the longer episodes. I will try to keep this thing in a listening capacity under, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes. And I will try to do this at least every other day, if not daily. It really depends on the subject matter. Sometimes it'll be pop culture, sometimes it'll be sports, and sometimes it'll be society. And that's the topic of this discussion today. The indictments for the murder of Breonna Taylor have come down, and surprise, surprise, there will be no charges in the murder of the police officers for the killing of Breonna Taylor. Actually, quite the opposite. The crime is not shooting a sleeping black woman in her home. The crime actually is to miss her, right? So the Attorney General of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron, gave his reasoning for not passing down indictments, for not actually charging the police officers in her murder. And the reasoning isn't important because, again, the crime isn't to kill black women and black people in general. The crime is to miss. And what the charges were the bullets that missed Breonna Taylor, that hit an adjacent apartment that had white people in it. Those were what the charges were for. And ironically, out of the other 20 bullets that the police fired, bullets hit also another apartment building that had black people in it. And to nobody's surprise, there were no charges for that particular apartment, just the apartment with the white people in it. So Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, you can just stay on the porch at the big house, keep shoving those bananas in your face, and stop talking to us because you're not one of us. And at this point, if you're not one of us, you're against us. Plain and fucking simple. I am so sick of this. You want to know why things like this continue to happen? Distrust within the black community of the police and the law and the legal system in general. This is a pitch perfect example of why these things are going to continue to happen. And mark my words, it's going to get worse. Okay? It's police yourselves. You want to fix the problem. I'm going to tell you how you do it. And I'm sorry if I'm going to sound like I'm jumping all over the place. It's because my mind is racing. And I have notes and I have them written down, but I can't make sense of what's happening here. The community trust, which is part of the police's job, is being completely ignored. There's no trust between black people and cops. So now what's going to happen what's going to continue to happen and what's going to elevate and escalate is that white cops are going to be tense around black people, and black people who already don't have a major trust in cops, which is justified, which is earned, and I dare somebody to come in here and tell me that it's not. Their hands are already going to be on their holsters, and black people are always going to be ready to run. And soon, and as we've learned in Louisville yesterday and today, black people are shooting back. So I would love to say I'm well wishes to those police officers who were shot, and I know you have nothing to do with nothing, but hey, your state should have charged those police officers. So not saying it's your fault, but the cops are in it together. You guys are sticking together. Well, you got to take the togetherness in this one too. It just feels like the only bullets that matter are the ones that affect white lives. Case in point with the indictments. Again, the bullets that killed Breonna Taylor don't count in this indictment. Only the bullets that hit a wall in the neighboring apartment of the white residents that lived within it. What kind of shit is that? Somebody, come, please explain it to me. And here's the worst part. Anytime you ask for understanding, anytime that you ask for somebody to be on our side that isn't black, you're met with so much deflection. What about the boyfriend? Oh, scope of the law, search warrant. She was an EMT who was sleeping in her bed. Explain it to me. One shot was fired reportedly, because guess what? We don't actually know what truly happened, and you don't either. We know what the cops are telling us. And based on everything we've seen, how could you not see it any other way other than a massive cover-up? Because police rarely get indicted on situations like this. Please find it for me. Please. And if you do happen to find one, that's 1 out of 10. And you know what's funny? I did find one. Officer Muhammad Noor, a Somali-American police officer, under 2 years in the job, and he accidentally killed a white woman. And guess what he got? Did he get the support from the Blue Lives Matter nut jobs out there? No. You know what he got? He got 12 and a half years in prison because he was responding to a domestic violence call at night. He was in a squad car with his partner, and a person was walking behind the police car. Now, he reacted poorly. I will say that. However, every officer that has killed a black person has reacted poorly, and they're getting away with it scotch-free. So he gets 12 and a half years. Not really a crazy leap here to figure out why. So these people are real fast to jump in your comments, to jump in your DMs, and talk about the boyfriend, and deflect, and search warrants, and all this other shit. Well, guess what? The fear of the police from black people is real, it's justified, and it's earned. And what they told us with this particular instance with Breonna Taylor is that it is okay for police officers to enter your home, kill you while you're sleeping, and they're gonna get away with it. That is exactly what they are saying. So now they're calling for peace, peaceful protest, and all this other stuff. No. Burn the city down. That's what I say. Because they can't look in our eyes, our tear-filled eyes, and just listen. They want to argue. They want to give you rebuttals. They want to talk to you about black-on-black crime. Because they don't understand that crime happens in whatever community you're born in, by the way. And since systematic racism and oppression is real, there are more poor black areas than there are poor white areas. And they're happening in larger quantities. So yeah, black crime happens in black communities. Not a real argument to really use, but they'll use it because they want to cloud their racism in statistics. I'll give you a statistic, okay? America is made up of 13% black citizens and 77 or somewhere around there, over 70% white people. Black people are killed by the police 43%, and unarmed white people are 17. So for you idiots out there, I'll scale it down to 100 people sample size. Out of 100 white people and 100 black people, 17 white people are likely to be killed by the police, as opposed to 43 black people. It is disproportionate. I don't give a fuck what metric you want to use, what rebuttal and argument and whatever nonsense that you want to use. It's unfair. There's a problem there. So, where was your support for Muhammad Noor there? I didn't see anybody, and if anybody can point me in that direction, you Blue Lives Matter racists, because I do, to an extent, believe in the unity, because I was a veteran, in the brotherhood of civil servant, right? I do believe cops will stick by each other, which is largely the problem here. The police refuse to police themselves. The military does it. The military will defend their own simply because they're a military member. And I understand that thought process. However, as a civil servant, you are held to a higher standard. Case in point, the law of armed conflict. There's a whole new set of different laws for the military. And there's a brotherhood within that you have to live by. And the military does a poor job of policing itself too, but it gets done better than the police. And it's a shame. And it's a shame that I have to teach my kids to fear the cops. And I know that's an unpopular thing to say, but I have to teach my 15-year-old kid and my 9-year-old daughter to say, hey, when you see a cop, you keep your head down, you keep it moving, don't talk to them, don't look at them, don't do nothing. And if you get caught up by them, you yes sir them or yes ma'am them to death, you keep your hands visible and you do not look them in their eyes. That's the reality, because white people, you can walk down the street, you can get pulled over without the fear of losing your life. Black people have a whole new set of issues to worry about here. That's the truth. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. That's the truth nobody wants to talk about. Just listen. Just listen to us. That's all we're asking. The country has once again betrayed its black citizens. So keep protesting. Keep the pressure on. Do not let Breonna Taylor's name fade into the ocean of all the bullshit that the police and the government and everybody in Facebook and social media tries to give you. Because there will be rebuttals. There will be justifications. There will be all types of things said that aren't true or doesn't even matter. And the tension is only going to grow. That tension exists, and it's a shame. So I call for separation, not unity. A lot of people are calling for unity. I'm not. I'm calling for separation. Not separation of black and white people, because I have really close friends that I consider family that are white. I have police officers in my family that disagree with me. I'm calling for the separation of the compassionate and the not compassionate. They'll sit there and say protesters don't do nothing, rioting doesn't do anything. Well, clearly asking you to listen to us without a deflection, without an argument, is too much for you to handle. You can't handle that freedom to do that for us. Again, the tear-filled eyes of the victims' parents and family members asking for justice. 194 days went by, and that was too much for you. So you're not listening to us when we're asking. You're not listening to us when we're begging. You're not listening to us when we are crying. The only thing you respond to is when we're burning police stations down, when we're causing riots. And not every protester out there is rioting. There are just people out there ready for chaos. But that doesn't stop you from labeling it on Black Lives Matter like we're some sort of terrorist group, like we're some type of Marxist movement. That doesn't stop you from doing that, because again, you're just clouding your racism, and it's an easy target. So what you really want us to do is ask for justice, get told no, and then just take it. Lie down and take it. That's exactly what those people are saying. And I hope it doesn't continue. Our athletes, the media, a lot of people are involved, and I hope the voices get louder. It can only happen if we keep shouting and keep the noise going. Shout out to everybody in Louisville, Kentucky. Please stay safe from the police. Stay in groups. Don't get caught out there by yourself, because the targets are on our backs now. They're looking for an excuse to make you another statistic. Again, if you disagree with anything I'm saying, I'm more than happy to have this conversation again. We can do it on Zoom. I won't edit it. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to fear. Educate me if you think I'm wrong. Please reach out to me and we will do this. And thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to listen again. This ran a little bit longer than I wanted, but This is an important topic, and I hope that a lot of people start to understand where our anger and our sadness comes from. This is the Molpractice podcast. Excuse me. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe. We are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network. So check us out at www.giveusashot.network. Everybody stay safe. Everybody keep your minds open, and do not, under any circumstance, keep your voice silent. Speak your mind, speak your truth, because people can hate you all they want, but if you are telling your truth and you're telling it from your heart and they still don't understand, then fuck them.